G'day cocktail lovers. I decided to get myself a bit of a treat, namely a tailored whiskey. The Sydney Distillery Archie Rose has had tailored gin and tailored vodkas for a while, and they've been teasing tailored whiskey for a while. You get to nominate from a couple of different malts what you want in your tailored whiskey, and it finally was available and I couldn't resist. So I went on the website to check how to do it. They give you 3 malts to choose from. You can choose 2 out of the 3. They call them New South Wales Pale Malt, New South Wales Chocolate Malt, and a Smoked Malt. Now I actually have some of their smoked single malts, and they did mention a little of the smoke goes a long way, and I decided I didn't so much want that, so there's little sliders you can play with. So I went like, okay, lean towards the New South Wales Pale Malt, but I want some notes of the chocolate malt in there as well. You also get to design your own label, which is a fun little touch. Makes for a great present. Personally, great present for myself, that's what I say. So I designed my own label, I set the malts I want, and then I ordered, and then I waited. And it arrived, and it came with its own Glencairn glass for tasting, with the Archie Rose logo etched into the glass. So without further ado, I'm going to give it a go. First pop of the cork is always an occasion, as is the first glug 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 as you pour. It's a nice amber colour. Well, I'm already getting the aromas wafting out without properly smelling it, but let's go. I can sort of smell cherry, and I'm getting faint notes of the chocolate that I put in there. Oh, it's a really nice, sweet, fresh aroma in there. But now for the ultimate, the taste. Oh, that's got a really nice brown sugar. Oh wow, that's really nice going down. There's those little notes of the chocolate that I asked for, but for me the strongest notes in there is very brown sugar. Now this is a single malt because the malt blend all comes from the same distillery. Noting the casks were filled between October 2015 and April 2020, so the mix of malts in here have been aged 3 to 8 years in Australian Apera casks. That's Australian sherry. I'm not allowed to call it sherry, it's Apera. So aged in sherry. Now whenever someone says, what's the rarest bottle you've got? I can say, this one. There's only one of it in the world. Because I like taste comparisons, I'm going to compare this to some of my favourite whiskies. All Australian. In fact, this is an East Coast shootout for Australia. Archie Rose is from Sydney. This is probably my favourite Australian whiskey, Star Wars Nova. They're here in Melbourne. And I quite like this one too, that I only bought because it was on special. Turned out to be quite nice. Watkins whiskey, this is from Queensland. So these come from all up the east coast of Australia. They've got a different vibe. I want to taste them side by side. A refresher taste of my tailored whiskey. Still liking it. Now for the Nova. Completely different on the palate. It's a completely different sort of sweetness. It's like a light fruit sweetness. I really like that one. And now to compare it to the Watkins whiskey. It's a much lighter whiskey, more mellow. It's got sort of light honey and fruit, like almost like apricot to me. Well, that's a fine addition to my whiskies. I think my final taste test should be to make an old fashioned with it. Given this is the most common way I drink whiskey, this is the best way for me to test a new whiskey. That's a good old fashioned. In fact, next time I make one, I might try to accent the chocolate malt in there by using some chocolate bitters. I used Angostura and orange bitters in here. It's very good though. So yeah, I have Angry Cocktails, custom made whiskey now. Why not? You gotta treat yourself every now and then, right? So yeah, I've got one more to add to the collection. Decadence. That's what happens when the young'uns move out, take over their bedroom, turn it into a bar. Or the artwork. Do you like the artwork? It's up there for the first time. I feel like someone's already said, I was doing a live stream, someone's already said OCD people are going to get worked up that they're different sizes. Someone's probably going to say they're crooked. And also, it's not symmetrical how I'm set up at the moment. I maybe need to reframe some things, but you know, work in progress. and I'm going to enjoy this. I hope you enjoy whatever you're doing, wherever you are, and I hope to see you again soon. I'll say bye for now. Cheers.